Michelle Nunes here with Short on Shorts. I am so excited with who I'm talking to today. This is Rob McLellan. He is the writer and director of Abe, a psychological thriller sci-fi that just totally blew my mind. Rob, thanks so much for joining us.
No problem.
Okay, so first things first, I read on Deadline that MGM acquired the rights to Abe to make
That's
a
correct.
feature-length film. Can you give me an update?
We're in development. I mean, it's been a kind of a crazy road because when Abe came out, it was one of the very few films out there that featured a robot in such a capacity. What's happened in the time between the short and when we were heading towards the feature was films like Chappie came out, which kind of underperformed, which hit us quite hard. And then Ex Machina came out, which made us think actually we need to go back and rethink what we're doing to kind of live up to what those guys did with that. So we're very much in development. It's been an experience, a great sort of couple of years working on it. But we are kind of heading towards the final stretch now. So it's one of those things where you should hear something soon.
Oh, that's so exciting. Okay, I want to touch on what you just said. You said you saw Ex Machina, which was incredible. And it made you want to rethink Abe. Can you tell me what you mean? Like, what are you rethinking?
Well, the original kind of genesis of the Abe feature was very much to touch on his backstory. I mean, in the short, he mentions he has a family, things kind of went wrong. So we were like, well, we're going to focus on that. We're going to show kind of like his origin, if you like. And it was very much a robot with some characters in a house. And kind of played with audiences' perceptions of what was going on and what he was really thinking and what his motives were and everything. And we saw Ex Machina, and they did that so well that we realized I wanted to tell an original story. So I didn't want to just retell what they were doing, which is kind of what was going to happen. So we are now looking at it from another perspective. And the thing about Abe is throughout his life, if you like, his existence, there's plenty of places you can just drop in. And find an interesting story. So that we've kind of reset in a way. So we're doing a story much more focused on him in his element. He's already a developed character at this point. Very much like he is in the short. I mean, originally the feature was going to be more how he became that, but now we're going to jump straight into that character. Which, to be honest, is a much more engaging story. And I think, Abe is the most interesting at his peak. So, yeah, that's what's happening with that.
How did the character Abe get created for you? Like, was there a specific experience you had that led to him being created?
It's a strange one because Abe's based on another film I made called Love and All That, which is a very short film. It's 2 minutes long, and it was made for a 48-hour film competition, like a race. And I decided for that I was going to do an animated short. And with the conditions they give you to make the film, what I came up with was a serial killer story about a man who couldn't quite process rejection. But through production, through those 2 days, it became very clear very early that I wasn't going to be able to animate a human. So I kind of just thought, well, I'll do it as a robot, because robots are easier to animate. There's no facial expressions or anything. And it was literally just that. It was literally me just thinking, I need to find a quicker way to do this. And from that, suddenly this character just kind of arrived, and it suddenly everything about, serial killers' emotions, existentialism, all this stuff suddenly kicked in, and it was like, wow, I just kind of stumbled across this amazing character.
Yeah.
And it was such a kind of a discovery that even before the Abe short was made, I was talking to producers in Hollywood saying, you really need to develop that character more. You need to do something with it, which is where Abe came from. But I always say that Abe's kind of, for me, he's what it's like to be a teenage boy when you're in love with a girl who doesn't know you exist, or a boy who doesn't know you exist, or whatever. But you're that teenage boy, or Abe's that teenage boy without any inhibitions. There's nothing holding him back. As humans, we're restrained. We're socially, conditioned to be responsible. We know right from wrong. What happens when a character has that emotion but doesn't know right from wrong, and you mix that in with the logic of a robot? That if something's broke, then you have to fix it. And it happened on its own. He just kind of became this great character all on his own. So I'm just happy I found it.
Yeah, absolutely. Does Abe want to be loved as much as he wants to love?
Yeah, I think there's a very simple answer for it, and that's if he actually found someone who loved him, then everything would be fine. If someone loved him unconditionally, that's what he craves, and that's how he's programmed. He's programmed to want to give love and want to receive. That was kind of his genesis. When his creator invented him, he realized the only way to make an empathic robot was to make one that actually wants to be loved. But within that, never gave him the capacity to handle rejection or any of these things that we take for granted. So you take that away, you take away, our restraint, our sort of knowledge that you can't have everything you want, and that's where he is. And I think, like I said, if he was just loved by someone, he'd be fine. And he'd live his life happily for them.
Will Abe ever try to fix himself in your film?
I don't think, unless he was to evolve somehow. I think he's in his own sort of Mobius strip of what's the word? Sensibility. He can't go beyond what he is because he's a machine.
Right. His limitations keep him there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interesting questions about Abe and like, can he grow? Can he become more aware than what he is? Does he have a soul? Questions he's starting to ask himself actually in the short, so it's possible.
Right, that's why I was wondering.
Because like within the larger story, those questions are kind of answered as well, and he does have an arc. He's a horrific character, but he also has a very emotional arc that does end somewhere with him realizing like something about his own existence. So, but I don't want to say too much.
I can't wait to see it when it comes out.
I can't wait to make it.
Thank you so much for taking the time, Rob, to chat with me. I really appreciate it. Please take some time now to check out Abe at the link below and keep your eyes peeled for the feature-length film. Will it be the same title, or are you guys still exploring titles?
Same title, yeah. It's going to be called Abe.
I can't wait. Thanks for watching, and be sure to check out our review of Abe over on our Short on Shorts review video. Thanks so much.